Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, looks like I got the wrong link, so I had to wait for this new one to come in. Yeah, that's how come we are now starting. So, yeah, I hope all is well. And did anybody find anything new on what we discussed last week? Share. Festus, your name is still Festus, only Festus. Kindly check this so that I don't repeat it again.
Yes,
When
sir.
you put your name, check whether it's your full name or otherwise. And again, see, you are in class. When I call you and I ask you to put on your video, please make sure what you are wearing is palatable. We don't want to be seeing singlets and other stuff. Please dress appropriately so that when you are called to put on your video, you are you are able to do so. You are in class. Thank you. Yeah, so what did you find? Yes. All right. Not what's it? Assembly, Elsie assembly. What did you learn last week?
Material management. We did something small about it. And I also went to read a little on it.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. What did you learn last week?
Please, we did a little on material management.
What is that?
Means that it's the process of planning, sourcing, and then controlling materials efficiently within an organization.
So when you say you are planning for materials, what are you doing?
It means how you are going to get the goods, and then if it's like you store it, when you bring it into the storage room, how you are going to take care of it, and then how you are going to differentiate if they have like different items, how you are going to source them into different sections, so that if it comes that you have to supply them or give to the customers, so you know that these types are here, these types are here, so that you know how to go and get them and not different types. It also prevents like wastage of time if you're able to source it differently. Going for it to supply to customers wouldn't waste time, like how you have to go and now be picking the exact item you want.
That is very, very good, assembly. Well done. Frederick Kamisa, what did you learn?
Good morning.
Good
Please, I
morning.
learned about the aim of material management, which has to do with you getting your material in the right quality, the right quantity, the right time, the right place, and at the right cost.
All right, so you're talking about the right quality. What do you mean? What is that?
So when sourcing your materials, because material handling has to do with from sourcing to distribution, you have to make sure that the supplier or wherever you are getting the material from should have the right quality that you want that would satisfy your customers' demands.
That's awesome. Very, very good. All right. Crespenda, what did you learn?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Yes, Amasa.
Yes, sir. We talked about the the aim of material management. And that is what my sister just mentioned, that the main aim is simple. That is having the right material in the right quality at the right place at the right time and at the right cost.
When we say right place, what are we talking about?
The right place, that means where the exact location where the materials will be needed, either for production or for supply.
How about where you get it from? Is that not important?
So that one too is important.
Which one is important?
So all of them, where you get it from. That means you have to get it from the right place. That means
So
the right
when you want
supplier.
to get it from the right place, what do you mean? What goes into that?
So that means the right supplier.
So who is the right supplier?
So that is to talk about getting it from the right supplier. That is ensuring the materials meet the required standards so that the final product is not defective. So
Very
I think
well.
that's the right supplier.
Great. Osman Abdul, well done, Christian. Osman Abdul.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I'm sorry. I want to stop and then have time, please.
I've said you are in class, please. All right.
Yes,
Justice
please. I'm finding a
Bojo.
place to park.
Yes, first a place to park, and then you come back. Justice Bojo.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What did you learn?
So I also learned about the purpose of the material management. And I found out that the purpose of material management is to ensure continuity of operations and also control costs.
Okay, so
And
continue questions.
the continuity of operations, when materials are being managed well and kept well, when it's time for work or when they are needed, it's easily accessed. They are being easily delivered for operations to go on.
Okay, yeah,
Sir, please, can you hear me?
yes, they are easily released for operations to commence.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All
Hello,
right.
sir.
Yes, I can hear you. Elizabeth,
Okay, sir.
what did you learn? Elizabeth can come. Elizabeth can come. Okay. Rebecca, so on.
Yes, sir. So, please, I also learned about the basic needs of material management, where we spoke that to operate efficiently, that means doing things correctly without wasting time, money, energy, or materials. And then we also spoke about having adequate materials on hand, that is having enough suppliers or resources available at the exact time. And then you also spoke about consistent with quality and then value requirements for purchase materials. That is, you also mentioned that it means value for money. Then to minimize the inventory investments, that is to balance the stock. That is to avoid overstocking and then understocking. Say.
All right, that's a good one.
Okay,
Great.
sir.
Sandra Oforinketia.
Hello, good morning, sir. Hello, good morning, sir. Please, can you hear
Yes,
me?
Sandra, we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Sir, please, last week, about material management, I learned about you talk about the primary objectives of materials, and then you stated that, one, to the right price and then good supply relationship. With a good supply relationship, you mentioned a lot. You mentioned right price, right time, good supply relationship, sorry, continuity of supply. With a
Okay.
good supply relationship, I'll say you should maintain a strong relationship with suppliers to ensure reliable supply and better time, so that it can lead to consistent quality and then timely deliveries.
Oh, okay. So you are saying that once you have some form of relationship, it can lead to, quick delivery. Are you sure that it can lead to quick deliveries or timely deliveries? Why?
Okay, sir. So, when you have this good relationship with, let's say, for instance, you have a good relationship with one or all your customers, it's very easy for them to get to you, and also you communicate better with them concerning when and where, the time and how you are going to deliver the items, or make deliveries easier for them to get them.
Okay. All right. Great. Let's hear from Francisca Mesa. Francisca Mesa. Francisca Mesa. Okay, so Francisca is not in class. All right. Okay, let's hear from Harrison.
All right, good morning, sir, and the whole class.
Yeah, good
Yes.
morning.
So, in addition to what my sister Sandra Nketia said about the primary objectives of material management, so after the primary objective, there are some goals or supporting goals that you have to put in place to help the primary objectives, such as after the primary objectives, you have to make sure there is efficient storage and warehousing. Then you have to ensure good record keeping and the rest. So that is about the secondary objectives of material management.
I wish you come back again.
Yes, I'm saying that Sandra Ketia, my sister, made mention of primary objectives, where she talked about the right quality, right quantity, right time, right source, and then the right price. And I'm saying that after these primary objectives, there are other ones which we call the secondary ones. Example, you have to make sure there is an efficient storage. There is an efficient storage of the materials. And then there should also be a good record keeping.
So
Yes.
when you say you want to efficiently store materials, what do you mean?
Yes. So, after acquiring the materials, you'd have to make sure there is a proper storage to prevent damage or loss or deterioration of the materials. So you have to get a good warehousing, good inventory control, and then to
Good warehouse. Is it good
yes,
warehousing?
good warehouse. Yes. Thank you, sir.
What is that?
Thank you. Good warehousing. Yes. So make sure you put in place all the necessary preparations to help store the materials. That is the proper location. When we talk about the good warehouse, you have to look at the proper location. You have to look at the adequate space and layout, and then safety and security. So
very well.
that is it.
Very well. Well done, Harrison. Fedra Sulemana.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Go ahead, please.
Sir, please, I learned about material handling, and it's about how materials and goods are moved, stored, controlled, and protected throughout a business, from raw materials to finished products. How to move the material is to include transporting items from one place to the other. That is loading and unloading. Then the storage is where materials are kept safely until it is needed.
Let's stay on transport. So you are saying that transport, it is about loading and offloading. Is there any?
Hello, sir.
I'm saying that, is there any other thing that comes in mind as far as transport is concerned?
Yes, sir. Moving goods within the warehouse or factory.
Okay, moving goods. Before you move the goods, is there anything that you should be worried about? Should you be thinking about some factors that will influence how you move goods from one point to the other?
So the safety of the goods, for you not to damage one good by moving it, you need to ensure that you handle it carefully before moving it from one place to the other.
Very well. So will that influence how you move the goods, or what type of mode you use in moving the goods?
Sir, please come again.
You get my point. I'm saying that, so you're talking about safety and security. Fantastic point. And I'm saying that, do you think that would influence the mode, what means you will use to move the goods from one point to another? Do you think it will influence it?
No, sir. Sir, for the mode of transporting goods, you will decide if you use by road or air or sea. But
So
for
if
the safety of
if you use by road or by air or by sea, do you think that safety and security should matter in that decision?
Yes, sir.
So you see, breaking it down becomes very easy for everybody to relate with.
Yes,
so
sir.
So continue. If yes, sir, continue.
Sir, please, should I stick on the transport, or I should further explain the material handling?
Stay on transport. The influence of material handling on transport. So you stay on transport. Is there any other thing that you want to share?
Sir, please, I'm done for now, sir.
All right, Sulemana.
Yes, sir.
Suleiman, then there's another George Ojiri. Well done, Federal. George Ojiri.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, boss.
No, I'm
Yes,
not.
boss.
Ojiri,
Yes, sir.
please, continue.
Yeah, so last week, we talked about material management. And few things I put in mind is the purpose of the material management. And the one point I want to talk about is how to carry reserve stock to avoid stock out. Yeah,
Okay, reserve stock. But
yeah, to carry reserve.
but George, you recognize that reserve stock is money sitting down.
Yes, sir.
So
I'm saying that's one of the purpose of the material money.
what will it? Why do you have to put that into money and money for the stock to just be there?
Sir, please, you are asking why do we have to reserve the stock to avoid stock out? Is that what you're asking, please?
Not necessarily to avoid stock out, but why do you have to invest money into, let's say, a buffer stock or reserve stock, as you call it?
So sometimes one of the purpose I know is that sometimes, especially not the perishable goods, but I'm talking about the unperishable goods, which sometimes because you want to the pricing, sometimes we stock we reserve some of the stock like this for pricing, and maybe the price changes will come, either it goes high, so that you want to put it down so that when the demand is needed, you sell it in maybe a higher price than the one you bought it first time. That's what
Okay. So
yeah.
you can sell it at a higher price to you.
Yeah, yes. For example, sometimes when we get the rice, you can buy rice at this time and then store it reserve it for a period. Sometimes it's the Christmas festivities and those things. So this time maybe the price will be, for example, 5 kgb will be like for now maybe 86 cedis, for example. But in Christmas time when the demand become high, you can sell it in 105 or one something like that. So I think that this is one of the reasons why we can reserve some of the stock like that.
Why, George, do you drink rice?
Oh, for my warehouse, we have everything. Mecom is everything is in Mecom.
I see.
You have everything. Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. Good contribution. Justice Festus Asante. Now
All
you
right.
put names.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity.
Are you Kweku or Kwame so that I add that one too?
Sir, I'm Kojo.
Okay, Justice Kojo Festus Asante. Go ahead.
All right. So I want to talk about the basic needs of material management. Why we need to manage our materials as an entity or a business. You made us aware that one of the primary reasons why you should do that is to have adequate material at hand anytime needed. So as a business, you cannot afford when your customers are in demand of maybe finished goods or raw materials, and you keep tossing them around here and there. And when a production line or production team also need material to produce, and then there will be shortages here and there. So we have to manage materials well and ensure that we have the right quantity. We are not understocking or overstocking to improve business operations. And then you made us also aware that
Justice.
We can have the lowest as possible at the right quality and value. With that, when we're able to manage our materials well, when there is maybe shortages and other stuff, it will not affect the business. And always you would have quality product at hand. And then you made us also aware of to maximize the needed money that we need to turn the business around in other operations will not be locked up in capital. And lastly, to operate efficiently, you made us aware that beyond all the objectives and the reasons and everything, the most important thing is to ensure that the business runs smoothly without any shortfalls. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's quite elaborate. A good one. Thank you. Nathaniel Ashon, what did you learn? Is he in class? Nathaniel Ashon.
Yes, sir, I'm in class, sir.
What did you learn
yes,
last
sir. Good
week?
morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir, how are you, sir? Sir, the last week we were doing exams, so I didn't join last week class.
You're doing the exam.
Yeah, the invigilation, the exams that is going on. By then, I was distributing the answer booklet, and then I'm with this guy, Commander,
Okay,
the admissions office. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Asan, Jonathan,
Okay, sir.
but you should contact your course rep. If you don't come to class, contact your course rep for some form of information, materials, etc., so that you'll be up to speed. Next time, I won't take that excuse.
Okay, sir. It will not happen again. Thank you, sir.
Let's hear from
Hello,
Kingsley. Yes, okay, Asan, Jonathan. Yeah, go ahead. After that, Kingsley will come in.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please, I would also like to talk about this in the Pareto, as you told us to try finding out the Pareto principles.
That's wonderful.
I got to realize that it's about the 80-20 principle, which the 20 probably is capable of accounting for the 80. But then I will start with even the material handling. In relative to the material handling, it's just like material handling, its its efficiency or even its input within a certain kind of business is mostly underrated, because with this 20%, the material handling actually takes this kind of 20%, which ensures that everything is safe and then ready for distribution and all that. And then, like it's also a material handling. Its relation to what they call the transport, where the implementation of the unit load concept helps in the distribution streamline by the consolidation of goods into manageable units, which makes it more easier for material handling. And then we also talked about its relation to inventory management itself. When even I asked the question concerning the inventory management and the material handling, and I got to realize that it's actually the relationship between these two, or let's say the way that they are more connected is about how to actually make materials or goods more available and then ready for distribution in such a way that, for instance, if it is the application of the concept of FIFO or LIFO, which ones are supposed to be ahead, or let's say to be ready for distribution, and then which ones are supposed to be kept in shelf for future this thing. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's a good contribution. Let's hear from Kingsley.
Yeah. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So, to add to what my friends have just said. I also considered what you asked us to look at for as a Pareto principle.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the principle simply talks about how, as a business entity, we can focus attention on the things that matter, the things that drive the business, the things that brings in revenue, than to look at the general aspect. For example, as a business entity, your inventory, you may have stock, and some of the items or products may be, may be bringing more money, or may be sold out. Therefore, inventory management requires that you look at for those items that need more to be stocked, so that you don't waste the little resources on items that are brought in, but it takes time to be sold out.
Okay, so I would urge that all of you really take your time to understand what the Pareto principle is and how it influences a business. Okay? So that you adequately understand it very well. Break it down so that you can indeed understand it very well. But that is good that at least you went to study what I asked you to look out for. Dennis Ozu.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sir, I actually studied about the basic needs of material management. And it says about the to have adequate materials on hand when needed. It literally means yeah, we are making sure all the resources, tools, and supplies required for a task and project or operation are actually available at the right time in the right quantity.
When you talk about right quantity, what are you saying?
The right quantity, as in making sure the goods are packaged or are in appropriate quantity and are in appropriate quantity for maybe bonding or probably, for example, probably maybe if you are making a school settling, maybe you could mean having enough textbooks or pens or lab technicians, a lab equipment before a lesson starts.
That is good quantity.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Inokwenu.
Yes, sir. So, sir, we talk about the main goals of material management, or the 4 basic needs of material management. And one of it is working efficiently or to operate efficiently. Okay, so this is when things are managed smoothly to save time, money, and effort. And it reminds you of the inventory management. You said something about lean management. So the lean management is when the organization manage things smoothly to avoid waste and working efficiently. And this one is not about managing the materials smoothly. Sometimes you have to check the movement of the workers to avoid unnecessary movement. Thank you. Sir, I think you have muted yourself.
Mumuni Sulemana. Yes, thank you. And Mumuni.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
And belated Workers' Day to all of us, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, a recap of what we did last week is about material management. So, one will ask, what is material? Materials are raw products, semi-finished goods, work in progress, which are procured, stored, and forward to production line for final production of finished product. So in materials management, the 5 rights need to be taken in cognizance in doing so. That is the right place, right time, right price, right quantity, and right time. So what we need to factor also is safety stock of whatever we are acquiring. Safety stock is a strategic way of getting your materials, which should not be beyond economic order quantity. Just to say in practical terms, something that the total cost of what managing it should not be higher. And so we will reduce tied up capital due to what? Overstocking. Another thing we need to take care of is data. Data is very important in material management. So it enhances our real time of ordering.
Sulemana,
Philemon, I think Sir is drawing your attention. So
I want
kindly
to talk to you. Yeah.
pay attention here.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'm saying that just stay on time. You're saying that material management, you have to get it at the right time and stuff. So I'm saying that just stay on time. On time, what do you mean?
Yes, sir. Okay, yes, sir. Sir, on time means that materials ordered should be at the right place at the right time, as and when those materials are needed for production. Let's say a car manufacturing, their raw material is steel and other fiber materials. So when a customer places order and they are out of storage, or they also order for the steel, which do not come at the right time, it will cause delays in their final production. Hence, they will not meet customers' satisfaction. Thereby, they will lose customers who also would move to other places who can meet them in real time, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Frederick Kameza, have you shared your thoughts?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think that we are... Apple, what did you learn? Okay, looks like Apple is not in class.
Hey, I'm
So,
here. Hello, can you hear me?
where have you been?
My
Okay,
mic was muted. I didn't notice. I was just talking.
okay. Go ahead.
So I read about the core functions and then also the types of materials. So with the types, we have raw materials, work in progress, finished goods, and the MRO, the spare part and consumables. And also with the core functions,
So when you say the goods in progress, what is that?
the work in progress.
Yes.
It's the production state where the product is not well, like it's not finished. It's in between the raw material and the finished good state.
For example.
So yeah, for example, let me say cocoa powder. Like we are manufacturing a Milo or a cocoa powder. A Milo, let me say a Milo. So right from the beans, you have to grind it. And when you grind it, it becomes powder. So that state becomes the work in progress because you are not, it's in between the production state. It's not a raw material yet. I don't know how to put it, but it is not yet finished product. So it's still in the process.
Okay. All right. That's sorry, Viela. Thank you, Mapo. Great. Sorry, Viela.
Hello, dog.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think last week some of us we joined, but along the line, our phone
You learn last
couldn't end after the class. Yes, but I joined, and after that I called the class representative, and he gave me.
last week.
Hello, sir.
Just tell us what you learned last week. We are not interested in the comment.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Yes. So last week, just as my colleagues I have mentioned, we learned about material management, and just as they said, material management has to do with to control, manage materials in an organization. Yes. And based on that, we proceeded and we talked about
Hello.
objective. Hello, sir. I can hear you.
Are you sure I said that material management is just about controlling and managing materials?
No, just because they said I didn't want to maybe go into detail, but rather proceed to the next one. Because I remember vividly you said material management refers to the effectively controls and manages material and supply used in an organization. And you talked the goal of it to ensure that the right materials are available, that is at the right time and in right quantities, just as our colleague said. And the aim is to support production process to meet customer demand. Yes.
Okay, Kingsley. So you mentioned that you are trying to control the material. When you say you are controlling materials, what are you doing? What does it mean?
Yes, material controls has to do with in production before a good we can see something, just as Mr. Paul was saying, a product has passed through to its finished state. That material has to pass through processes. That is which has to do with before the material gets to the factory, it will pass through some processes. That's the transportation processes when it gets to the factory, which has to do with inventory management, then all those stuff.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Isa, have the final word. Sherry. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Go ahead.
We learned about material management. And I learned about importance of material management. Material management is important because it directly affects organization, cost efficiency, and productivity. Importance.
So wait. How does material management influence productivity?
To ensure to ensure right material available at the right time. So, to prevent shortage that could stop production or delay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sherry. Do Evans.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
Last week I remember we studied about material handling, and we said it is a core component of distribution and warehousing, and it focuses on how goods move internally to ensure they reach the right place in a good condition.
Okay.
And
Mention good condition. What do you mean?
good condition, as in the materials, whatever materials being transported are safely transported and undamaged. And for that to be able to happen, we need to have packaging for the material. Whatever material that is being transported needs to be packaged such that it can be safely transported.
Whatever material is supposed to be moved from one point to another has to be safely and adequately packaged such that it would keep its sanctity as it gets to the customer.
Yes,
And
sir.
when it is with the customer, it will also still maintain its sanctity until it is being consumed.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that is important, that the package is able to keep its originality until it is consumed? Do you think that is important?
Yes, sir. I very much think so. It's actually necessary when transporting goods that you have the right packaging, because when you do have the right packaging, you can stack them in the truck that is transporting the goods, and stacking secures the goods very well. So they hardly get damaged in such packaging when it is stacked like that. So until the product is consumed, it is protected throughout the supply chain management.
Fantastic. Very well done. Very well said, Evans.
Thank you,
Isa,
sir.
Isa Rakia. Okay, Isa Rakia is not in class. Let's hear from Rama 2.
Sir, please, I'm here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Isa. Go ahead.
Sir, please, I learned about 5 right. So we have right material, right quantity, right place, right time, and
Isa. Okay, so let's hear from Robert 2.
sir.
Isa, we can't hear you.
Sir, please. Sir, please, I said I learned about 5 right place, right condition, and right time. Sir.
Okay. Yes, Isa. Thank you very much.
Yo.
Nia. Okay, Nia Foster is also not
Welcome,
speaking.
sir.
This is the same thing you did the last time. Nia Foster, I'm keeping your name in my head. All right.
Hello, sir. Sir. Hello.
Let's hear from
Sir.
Terian, Selena Terian.
Oh, sir. Sir.
Morning, sir.
Foster is around.
Selena, go ahead.
Okay, sir. We talk about
No,
material
no.
management.
Nia Foster, wait. Selena, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So we talk about economy in material management.
Okay.
And then we said containing the cost, which is controlling on handling and reducing the expenses related to the storing and transporting materials. And it also helps the organization save money and avoid waste. And also we talk about the instilling efficiency in all activities, which is performing all materials management activity quickly, correctly, and with minimum waste. And it also improves productivity and smooth operation. Sir, thank you, sir.
Okay, Selena, thank you. All right, I think it's a quarter past. It's a good time for us to continue with what we wanted to do. Yeah, Dixon.
Hello, sir. Thank you. I was not called, so I also wanted to give in a little contribution.
Okay, contribute.
All right, thank you. So I would want to talk about standardization as one of the secondary objectives of material management. So what that means is that standardization in material it means that establishing a uniform or specifications with respect to size, quality, and types of materials used in organization.
Or what? Because
Please say again.
Is it? I don't know. Are you talking about standardization?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that it's a process of establishing uniform specifications that size, quality, and types of materials used in organization to reduce variety and improve efficiency in procurement, storage, and usage. So
why is it managing materials?
Please say again.
Why is that crucial in managing materials?
Okay, so it's very crucial in managing material because one, it reduces cost.
How?
So a typical example is let's consider a manufacturing plant like a car manufacturing plant where they deal with so many varieties of parts. So it is crucial in this sense, in a sense that they may consider a lot of parts being like nut, screw, and so on and so forth. So what the standardization method would do is that it would uniform or simplify all these parts, these complex parts, and put them together in a simple way in order not to have, let's say, parts. If you want to assemble one particular vehicle, I have to go to different suppliers to get different parts for one assembly of a vehicle. So what standardization does is to simplify all complex, let's say in respect to plant or manufacturing of car, simplify all complex parts in a uniform manner so that purchasing will be easy to do. And that's when that happens, it also reduce cost of transport and then also reduce warehousing, holding costs in warehousing.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, okay, so I think I saw something in the chat where Christian, you were asking about the difference between whether there's a similarity between right condition and the right quality. Let me see. Right quality is about, Paul has indicated that right quality is about specification and standard. Right conditions about what? It's our handling, storage, preservation, and others. That is indeed quite, yeah, it reflects the meaning, or it reflects what I would have indeed shared. However, I'll add that talk about right condition, it goes beyond the handling and even the storage and preservation. Right conditions start from indeed where you are sourcing from, whether indeed they have the requisite capacity to be able to do that. And so it's very important that that is looked at first, so that you know that wherever you are sourcing from, they are the various standards, they have what it takes to handle the kind of materials that you want to get, so that right from the word go, you are sourcing from the right source. In process, they will make sure that the conditions for the carriage of the product is well informed before it gets to you, for you to also manage it. So that whole chain is very important as far as, ensuring that the right condition is concerned. Okay, Crispin?
Yes, sir.
Is that well said? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now let's continue with what we want. We started last week with regards to managing materials. Okay, so we got to this particular, but I must say that well done to all of you, those who have shared their thoughts. Very great. Yeah, so can my screen be seen?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
the said, oh, say, I'm going to park and get back. We didn't hear from you. Nia Foster, we didn't hear from you. You need to be careful.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, sir,
So, 4 basic
sir,
needs of management. Yes. Who is it? I'm
please,
sorry.
it's me, Foster.
Yes, we've gone past that. I'm saying that be
I,
attentive.
I raised my hand, but you didn't call me.
You can't make the obligation here. Okay? You can't
Okay.
make the obligation here. I called you. What were you? Let's move on.
Please, I didn't know that I mute myself. That's why.
Okay. So there are 4 basic needs of material management. We've said that to have adequate materials at hand so that indeed it can influence your operations. You want to also be able to pay the lowest possible prices. Why? Because I mean, if you are managing your materials well, you know how much to even buy to attract some discounts and all that. Again, you will know with regards to the other elements of logistics, you know how best to manage the cost components of each one of them. So for example, if you should take transport, what quantity that should you procure in order to indeed get some discount on the product, for which you are able to also use same for transport management? Because I mean the quantities that you procure would influence your transportation costs most definitely. You understand? And that will also even influence the mode of transport you're going to use. So you're always thinking about how to manage cost throughput so that you can indeed also offer lower possible prices to your customers, so that you can stay consistent with your pricing over a long period. Other than that, at the slightest change in price, you have to change your price, because you are not really managing your cost components of the various logistics elements. You can utilize that capital to do other things, and then say you are
Yeah, please, your
managing
line is
material. These are some breaking for everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I can hardly hear you. I can hardly hear you.
Sir, can you please revisit the 4 basic needs?
Okay. All right, can I be heard?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's okay.
Very well. So, as I was saying, I'm saying that we talked about the 4 basic needs of material management. When we are talking about the needs, it means that you require this to be able to manage the materials adequately. And I'm saying that to have adequate materials on hand when needed, you see, it means that you have to be able to make sure that how you procure is seamless. Because to have adequate materials in-house when you need them means that you need to have a seamless procurement process that ensures that you have the right products when needed to be brought into your organization for production to commence, or for the product to be used for operations. Okay, so it's very, very important that that need is adequately satisfied. But how does it go along? How do you get the adequate materials? It means that it requires quite a bit of planning. Okay, and knowing what you want when, and knowing when to acquire these materials, and also ensuring that the source of your materials are salient. The source of materials are well on point, so that indeed when you need when you need those materials, you can adequately get them. We also talked about some quantity in here. So sometimes you may need some quantity of materials. If you do not have a good relationship with your suppliers or with your supplier, you may indeed find that wanting. You may not really get the quantities that you want where you really need them. So all that is very, very important. So the right source is very, very important, and how you go about it is very important. There are several types of or methods of sourcing, and it's important that you choose the one that is in line, okay, that is in line with the product that you're indeed procuring. Again, to pay lowest possible prices for various materials means that, one, the extent of making sure that you're using the right procurement processes is very important, so that you can get the possible right lowest prices for whatever it is that you want to procure. And then it comes with what? Value, as well as the quality that you may require. So when you talk about value requirements, it means that the product that you're going to procure should meet the standard. It means that the product that you're going to, wherever you're going to source from, should have the requisite capacity to be able to indeed extend that value of service to you. And by service, we are talking about the right quality products that should indeed be utilized in your organization. Again, we are talking about minimizing the inventory investment. You want to only procure when you need them, which means that you are indeed optimizing how you acquire some of these products, so that you don't, encourage waste in the whole process. Because once you tie down products or raw materials which you're not going to use in a long time, definitely you are not making the requisite financial efficiency that should be brought to bear as far as managing inventory is concerned. Okay, and you also want to operate efficiently and make sure that your time yours with your production and distribution and even storage of products, and indeed ensuring that there is some form of efficiency in the service that is also rendered. Okay. All right. So I'm saying that there are some basic principles of material management, and it includes all this. You know, you need to be as effective as possible as far as some of these functions are concerned, like planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, reporting, budgeting. All these are very, very critical as far as managing the principle, managing materials are concerned. You need to plan. Make sure that you know what quantity you're supposed to acquire. You want to know the requisite sourcing method that is supposed to be used. You want to use that to influence the transport mode. How product is indeed packaged is critical so that it can get to your end or to your warehouse well placed or well secured in a manner that is indeed protective and preservative. Again, you want to indeed know which staffing are going to manage the materials. Right staffing is key. Else they wouldn't know how to manage that particular material. Maybe it requires some temperature requirements. The staffing may not, that staff may not know. So appropriate staffing is key. Even with regards to transport, it's important to get appropriate people to man that transport that you have. It's important to direct where and what to be done at the right time and for the right purpose. Controlling the whole process is important so that the right product will go to the right places and the right communication would come and go to the right places. In order to be able to ensure that cost is adequately managed, budgeting is key. So you budget for every aspect of the process so that pricing for the product can make meaning in the market. Okay. Again, there has to be some sound purchasing method, as I've said. You know, you should understand how to source. And indeed, there are some basic areas that are also required, like so a very simple inventory management program. You should indeed make sure that cost is managed as much as possible. You make the whole process as simple as possible, such that it can be understood by those you work with. Various staff should be able to understand the entire process. When I say entire process, the entire process of managing materials, and it includes how to dispose of various materials, and it also includes how to manage goods returned or reverse logistics. Very important. Very important. And sales and negotiating and all that is key, because when you even want to deal with reverse logistics, you should have a very good negotiation skills, because sometimes you need to repair and return. And when you repair and you return, for sometimes customers can be quite difficult in accepting return goods. And so that has to be adequately managed. Any questions here? Okay. There are some elements. Yes, Justice Bojo.
Yes, sir. Sir, please, the controlling and directing, sir, are they the same or there are differences there?
Oh, I mean, they are different. Okay. Okay, they are different. But even though they are similar, they are different. Talk about directing, you should show leadership in making sure that your word counts and where what should go. Okay. If you want your goods to move from Boku to Sisala, and you have to indeed direct every aspect of the process, means that you have to indeed make sure that those there should be expecting particular quantity of goods in a particular condition and all that. So you direct. as to how the goods will indeed get there. And you should also make sure that those processes are controlled. Maybe you can control that through third parties, or you can control that through other people. But of course, the direction should come from leadership.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So elements of material management. I'll come back to you guys. I'll come back to you. Elements of material management. You have demand estimation. It's important that you're able to estimate, you can forecast, you can use historical data, all that to influence your demand. It's also important to identify the needed items. You only have to indeed be looking at the needed item, not the items that are wanted. There's a difference between that, because those ones that are needed are very critical for operational activities. You should be able to calculate from the trends in consumption during the last, it may even not be just the last 2 years, but it's important to know the trend so that you can forecast adequately and know what it is that you may require going forward. It's important to also review with resource constraints. It's important to know that resources are not in abundance like that. So as much as possible, how you acquire those resources and what you do with the resources has to make meaning. Okay, which means that all the types of waste should be avoided. So here I'll ask you to go and look for the types of waste. I'll ask you next week. Types of waste that are seen in organizations. About 7 or 8 of them are the principal type of waste. So look for that. And that indeed would, because that plays a key role in every element of logistics. Okay, so there are various functional areas as far as materials management is concerned. And so it means it depends on the organization that you're working in, but in every functional unit, there is material management. Whether you are in the warehouse, whether even in your finance office, whether in every functional unit. Here you're looking at indeed several shops, pharmacies, whatever. Wherever you find yourself, there is material management. Even in your homes, material management persists. On that note, we'll end material management from here, and then we'll look at something else. Yes, Asaf Jonathan.
Yes, sir. Please, on the quality of a product. Yes, I wanted to know, you see, sometimes, let's say your order is coming from outside, from overseas. So are you supposed to, first of all, make the bulk purchase, or you have to make sample purchases, or let's say they should send you samples for you to check before you now proceed to that is in the bulk purchases, or how do you go about this thing?
Okay, thank you very much. You recognize that. You recognize that you're saying that it is, let's say the product is in Switzerland. You are in Ghana. And if you immediately get the bulk in, it may be defective. It may not meet your requirement. So your best bet is to get a few samples. Sometimes even use it to see whether it meets your requirement, and even keep it for some time and see whether, as far as our weather conditions is concerned, can support the survivability of the product. You don't just bring in the bulk. You make a huge loss if you're not careful. Make a huge loss, because get to time it starts melting. Okay, you may understand the conditions. They may tell you, okay, 23 degrees Celsius or whatever. But how about if it gets here and it starts to melt? So you need to, for whatever reason, it starts melting. So indeed, there's a way, there's what we call risk responses. One of the risk responses is to avoid any kind of risk, and this is avoidance. It is important to avoid and to have an insurance on a product or on a container or whatever it is. You get me?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's important to have a sample. It's important to have a sample. For us, let's say, for example, you are importing syringes. You should get samples because the tip of the needle sometimes can be crooked. So if it is crooked, how do you inject people with that? It will be so discomforting to pierce anybody's body with that crooked needle. Okay, so the tip of the needle becomes very important. So you need to check that. You need to check how when you push all the medicine, all the contained medicine can smoothly enter one's body and all those things. It's very important. Yeah. Yes, I saw another hand. Yes, continue. Tell us.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you for the opportunity. Yes, some addition. The main objective of material management is to get materials
No,
or raw.
are you saying addition on what, please? On which aspect? But we need to move on. Which aspect are you looking?
Sir, the previous slide before the last one where we stopped, sir.
Are you looking at what?
Sir, on the best practice, the budgeting and efficient, that slide, sir.
Are you looking at budgeting or you're looking at what?
Sir, I just wanted to add something small, sir.
On what?
On capacity building, sir.
Okay. Talk about capacity building.
Yes, sir. So, material management is to get fit for purpose raw product for final production. So, in doing so, with modern trends and changing changes in globalization, so there's a need to give staff within the procurement and handling of materials capacity building and training, i.e., in technology, so that it will mitigate losses going forward in such a fashion that we can match with modern trends of material management. And then, sir, finally, insurance package for warehousing and materials management. So yesterday, there was a fire outbreak at Prempeh within the warehouse. So in such dealing, you made mention in your last presentation response to Hassan, insurance is very key so that in the event of, let's say, an act of God or any other things, all capital will not be lost to that effect, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. Let's look at one other aspect of the elements of logistics. Can you see my slide, please?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. All right, so as part of the things that we have to consider as elements of logistics, we have to look at how best to package our products, which indeed would come with services as well, to be able to meet the other logistical needs of the organization. Because indeed, packaging has a critical role to play in every aspect of the elements. And so we look at how this indeed would influence the other elements of logistics. So we'll start by indeed considering okay. Yes, we start by looking at the need for packaging. okay, by having some understanding of what packaging is all about, a brief history, development of current trends and types of packages, the purpose, some symbols, environmental considerations, effect on current trends of packaging, and all that. I mean, it's undoubted how critical packaging is in logistics, every aspect of it. Okay, and indeed, it is heavily integrated. Packaging is heavily integrated in every aspect of our lives. Even sometimes we say that how a human being is packaged is good or looks great. Sometimes we mix those up. And so we sometimes also connote package to mean that, okay, you're going to buy a house, you get there, they say that, okay, if you buy a house, they're going to add a free car to it, and then they're going to probably add a driver. They're going to indeed make sure that you can more or less have a very good payment plan for the building, and then even the car, its servicing will be taken care of for the next 2 years and all that. When you have such a deal, people call that a package. So you say it's juicy package, this package is good and all that. So people have different connotations when it comes to package, but ideally for our case, we are looking at it from product's point of view. And indeed, packaging has, made several strides. Okay, it has transitioned from just simply being an operational activity to a strategic activity. So here I'm saying that it is moved from simply an operational activity to a strategic activity. Look for the difference. Next week, you come and share it with us. Okay? Is that okay?
Sir, please
Yes,
repeat the
it's
question
okay.
again, sir.
I'm
Please,
saying
could you please come again?
a package, or packaging has moved or has transcended from just being a simple operational activity to a strategic activity. So it means that there's a difference between operational activities and strategic activities as far as packaging is concerned. So look for the difference. Packaging as an activity and packaging utilized for strategic intentions. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Very well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, so we are saying that packaging is a technology of enclosing or protecting products for distribution, storage, for sale, and then for use. So you want to look at how best the product is designed, how best you can design, evaluate, and produce, various packages to ensure that there is adequate distribution, adequate storage, adequate sale, and adequate usage of that particular product. Okay, so when you talk about the process of design, you want to look at ultimately how the product finish looks like. Okay, and indeed, how it looks like plays a key role in how it is produced. Okay, so how it is contained, you realize that the product that is produced, how it will be contained plays a role in how it is produced. Because at the end of the day, you need to assess factors that will influence how you produce the item. And packaging is key. Okay, it's key. So it is indeed central as far as production of a particular product is concerned. Packaging is central to the production of a particular product is concerned. Because if it is in their liquid form, if the product is a liquid form, it will influence the package. If it is in a solid form, it will influence the package. If it's in a gaseous form, it will influence the package. So it means that before you produce, it's important to think adequately about the design of the package before production commences. There are other definitions which also describes packaging as a coordination of systems or a coordinated system of preparing goods, a coordinated system of preparing goods for transport, warehousing, logistics, sales, and end use. So you realize that packaging has several connotations, has several functions here. Because you are talking about how it contains, so it means that it has some element of containment. It also protects, helps to protect whatever product that it's contained in. It preserves it. So the container or the package should have the quality of being able to preserve what is contained in, so that it can influence how it is transported. It can influence how it informs. Every package should be able to inform how the package should be managed. So, for example, on some boxes, you realize that, let's say if you go and buy a deep freezer, you realize that there's a very big arrow which points to the top. It shows you that this is how the product should stand. Or if you should place it on the surface, that's how it should stand. Or if you are moving it from up, this is how it should stand. Okay, so these symbols informs, okay, how you should indeed manage that product. It also influences how products are sold. Yes. How the package influences you and I, how it influences our purchasing activities. And all this has what we call a significant effect on competition. Competition within the market is key. So packaging plays a key role in a company having a competitive edge over another. Very important. Because indeed, that has a significant influence on whether you're going to make adequate profits or not. Okay, so as I've said, you want to be able to contain, protect, preserve, inform, and sell. Okay, so if you are preparing goods for transport, you want to indeed, as much as possible, minimize waste, okay, through transportation. If it comes to warehousing, you want to make sure that the product is packaged in such a way it can adequately be stored and packed in a way that would enhance efficiency. Okay, so that when customers also see it, they see it as appealing. Okay, and can indeed be put together in a way that can influence how it is moved from one point to another. So you look at this, you realize that there's been some history. In ancient times, we used to have these vases and all that to store wines. We use wine skins, we use baskets, woven bags, etc. And these were, more of a natural and sustainable way of packaging. Okay, up to today, we still have some foods that are packaged with some leaves, and they are very good in preserving them up to this day. Even though we have modern ways of packaging, still, I don't know how best you can package kenkey, dark kenkey or fancy kenkey without having those, whether plantain leaves or whatever, used. Very important that up to today, they are still in use. Okay. So, packaging dates back to yesteryears, where, there were some travelers moving from one point to another. Okay. But indeed, there were issues with respect, because some of these wrappings or some of these leaves are unable to stand the test of time, and so perishability sets in no time. Again, differentiation, even though we have different products present differently, adequate differentiation was not given the chance. Also, when it comes to protection, they are not adequately protected to stand the test of time. So it's important that that should indeed influence the current trends, which indeed can be able to handle some of these products so they can stay years. It can be taken to the moon and all that. It can be dried, preserved, etc., etc. Okay. Yeah, so modern times, we are talking about the use of bags, rubbers, even plastics. You use some paper bags. In some countries, you can't use rubber, especially in Rwanda. So paper bags are used in almost everything that they have and all that. Okay. Yeah, so as I'm saying, from the foregoing, you realize that current trends have popped in, where these functions indeed can be expanded to arrive at the criticality of packaging as far as organizations are concerned. So from Big et al., you realize that these are the main objectives of packaging: physical protection, barrier protection, containment or agglomeration, information transmission, and then for marketing purposes. Again, it's important to also realize that packaging is done in order to secure products so that they can indeed be able to hold fast the ingredients that they have before it gets to the end user. Again, convenience is a key, because now you realize that if you look at this cowbell strawberry flavor, you can have 10 of them put together and then you can easily slip them into your bag. Other than having the whole tin, sometimes it used to come with a tin, which is bulky and became difficult to move around. There's also portion control. If you take some paracetamol syrups, you realize that there's some, the tip of it they have this thing that can be used to control the portions that you can squeeze out of the bottle. And that is indeed used to serve as a portion control. You look at some, let's say, I think there's another syrup, an antibiotic. Let's say you look at augmented syrup, there's a cap on it. That cap has some striations on it that shows some measurements. Okay, so you pour it in and you can able to measure and give to your children, and as adults, we even use it a lot. I think it's even in cough mixtures and all those things. So use that to apportion, okay? Use that to apportion. So that makes a big difference. So if you look at the various types objectives, these are very important. Barrier protection, you realize that even the water now, if you take Belacqua, they have some wrappers on the cup. Okay, before you open it, you have to go round. You have to tear off that wrap, and then there's also a seal on the cup, so you have to turn it in a particular way before you can be able to open it. All that is barrier protection, very important. Prevents air from entering or dust from entering the product before it is adequately consumed. Okay. There are types of packages. You have the primary package, you have the secondary package, and you have the tertiary package. Primary package indeed comes, is the package that comes into contact directly with the product. Okay, directly with the product. Okay, and then secondary package, we can use some of these bottled water as an example. If you take a bottled water, then single bottled water is a primary package. Why? Well, it comes into contact with directly with the product. Okay, if you put about 10 of them into a box, that box becomes a secondary package. Okay, because it's containing about 10 of the boxes of the water. And then if you have about 10 of that box placed in another bigger box, that becomes a tertiary package. Okay, so for example, let me see if I have, okay, so this is a primary package. Okay, you put 10 of them here, secondary package. You put 10 of this in this box, it becomes a tertiary package. There are some symbols that are used, okay? Symbols that are used on various packages. And indeed, those symbols can be standards, okay? Because every product has its own standard of labeling, okay? It has its own standards of labeling. It has to be compatible with the existing laws of the country. It has to indeed showcase how to secure the product safety information, okay, and all that. All these are very, very important. So if you want to have some standardization, you want to develop and implement technical standard that would stand the test of time and ensure that the product is adequately protected. Okay, because in some instances, for international trade reasons, you should conform to the international standards so that the products can be utilized or used in all other countries. Okay, can be used in all other countries. So these symbols indeed showcases the trademarks. Okay, symbols also shows that it indeed has been paid for. Okay, and then also there are some symbols like the recycling symbols. It shows how, you know, the product should be recycled and all those things. Very, very important symbols on a package. Okay, right. Okay, so we have a trademark. Okay, which means that the name, it can indeed be a name or a symbol or a design, okay, which is indeed used to distinguish the product, or it can be used to distinguish a manufacturer from others. Okay, can also indicate the source of the product. Okay, so you have all manner of symbols or trademarks being used. Immediately you see it, you know where it is coming from. If you see the crown of the Mercedes-Benz, nobody should tell you that this car is a Mercedes or a Rolls-Royce or whatever. All these symbols are very important because it adequately shows the logo or the brand where it is indeed emanating from. So all these are, all these are more or less symbols that are used in packaging. Okay. There are some advantages of having this because it helps the owner protect their mark against the competitors. All right. But in some instances, people have punched some holes in its utilization as some form of intellectual property. Okay. And sometimes, from the other part, they stand their ground and indicate that, okay, we think that this is also our intellectual property and all that. Again, another disadvantage is that owners, trademark owners, would have to sometimes pay for registration and renewal these symbols and all that, and sometimes it can be quite daunting. The package is used for proof of purchase. So if you go to ShopRite, you see you have a barcode by the water, right? And it is scanned. When it is scanned, what does it mean? It means that if there's a security code on it, it has been removed. So when you take it through, you pass it out of the building or out of the shop, there will not be sound made. Okay, you not hear any sound because the sound has made already. And by that, I mean that it has been proven that it has been paid for already. And sometimes there's a system at the back which would deduct. Immediately there's a scan, bam, there's a deduction at the back end so that at the end of the day, the stock can be known. The stock that has indeed left the shop will be known for a particular product. Okay. These are all markings that should indeed reflect European Union's mandate. And these are also symbols showcasing this code. We have what we call the recycling codes. Okay. And these codes are used to identify the material from which the item is made so that it would indeed influence the recycling process, whether it's a glass, metal, or otherwise. Okay. So there are environmental considerations that plays a role as far as all this packaging is concerned. So in particular geographical areas, it's very important that what is packaged is relevant. It's very important that what is packaged is relevant. And the materials that are used in packaging becomes very important. And how those packages are disposed of, whether these packages are environmentally friendly or find a way of burning or whatever it is, or burying. Okay, specific areas are demarcated for such an activity. Very important. Very important. Okay. So why is it important that organizations become environmentally conscious? Okay. Why should they be environmentally conscious? It means that good reputation in the eyes of the customer, good reputation in the industry, all that plays a key role. There's cost savings when one is environmentally conscious. Why? Because some people may want to invest in your organization because you are being environmentally conscious. Others may also want to make sure that sometimes they even give some grants to companies that are looking at being sustainable, and that influences the pricing and the cost of production. Okay. ISO is important because they also want to make sure that you follow environmental rules and regulations and all that. There's a standard for it. I want you to also look at that one too. Environmental standard as far as ISO is concerned. Okay, whether it's 14,001 or which one, look at it and make sure that you are abreast with it. How organizations become environmentally conscious with regards to packaging becomes very important, okay? Because an organization which seeks to just destroy or disturb the environment should not be allowed to, to survive, because their activities indeed threatens the survival of the people. Any questions so far? Any questions so far?
Sir, please up. Hand is up. Gabriel hand is up.
Yes, I know what he's coming to say. That's why I'm asking for the last question. But who is answering for him? Why you think he doesn't know that his answers are, or I've not seen it? You ask your question. So your question is the Apple's hand. Any final question?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Festus.
Mine has to do with a trend that I have seen in packaging. I've realized that if you take foreign products, they spend a lot of time, investment in ensuring that the products meet international standard and well designed to appeal customers. However, when it comes to Africa or Ghana here, you take some of the local brands, it's a total mismatch. And it has been a burden for me in personal. So I think we have a long way to go as people to bridge that gap. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That's we are all making strides to make sure that environmental sanctity is kept as much as possible. So I mean, things would fall in line because best standards cannot be usurped, okay, upon. So once it is best standard, best practices, everywhere you go, it will be the same. So we are hoping that we will continue on that path to ensure that our environment is safe and we are able to meet the standards required and utilize it effectively as well in all the logistics arena that we may consider. So thank you very much for your time. Remember the assignments I've given you and have a wonderful time. Take care. I see a hand here. What's that? Say I'm seeing, yes, I am. Huh? Okay.
So please, the material management slide is not on LMS. If you can share with us.
No problem. All right. You have a nice time and take care.
Yes, sir. Nice day, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good day, sir. Let's get the fuck out of here.
What did I hear Do say? Mr. Do. Evans Do. Cost rep. Hello, cost rep.
Yes, sir.
Tell Evans Do to get in touch, okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you.